The Masters final is brilliant because you'll see some youngsters in there as well that have fought their way to get in there, and these are the next generations that are coming through. So all the best to them, because they're the dark horses sometimes. And, you know, obviously you've got the big guns in there that hopefully can do well as well. So we'll see. It'll be an exciting event.
Thank you so much for joining us. We are out of time. It's been short and sweet, but we're going to move over to the competition now.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on all your performances this weekend.
Thank you.
Okay, so moving swiftly over to men's P-bars. Chris, can you talk us through this start list?
Yes, so first up from YMCA Barry Gymnastics Club, we have Ewan Meetham. From Europa Gym Centre, Gianni Regini Moran is second. Winner of the vault gold medal, Jake Jarman, will be up third. Reece Beckford competing and represent Jamaica in fourth. Daniel Purvis, fifth. Bryn Bevan in sixth. Frank Baines will be up seventh. And winner of the gold medal yesterday from Leeds Gymnastics Club, Niall Wilson, will be up last on this event. So, parallel bars, always a difficult apparatus sometimes to warm up, because every gymnast likes to prepare the bar slightly different, whether that's with chalk, syrup, sugar water. That's the hammer. Into the handstand. And that is the Suarez from the front, from the uprise position, so from the upper arms. There's the undersumi. Arms had a little tiny bend in, but it was nice and quick to handstand. That was the back giant. There's the front uprise. That's the flying back immediately into the studs, and he didn't quite get the handstand or the grip that he wanted. And he's done ever so well to carry on with his routine there. That was definitely just trying to make the best of a bad situation, but managed to get himself out of it. However, the judges will have spotted the big errors and took deductions for it. There's the dismount, the double pike back somersault. That was unfortunate because the routine was going very, very well up until that point. It was his only final today, so unfortunate for that one error.
A real shame there for Ewan, but I'm sure he'll have enjoyed the experience of performing in these Masters finals. And the next competitor we've got coming up, we haven't seen him for a little while, have we?
No, so Gianni Regini Moran, he's the junior all-around champion from 2016, but unfortunately in 2016 incurred a couple of really bad injuries, so he's only just starting to make a return to action now. And you'll probably be quite surprised at the end of his P-bar routine, there will be no dismount. And that's just to protect his ankle, to protect his knees, so that he can make sure that he's still pushing forward for the future. There's no more risks. He needs to take his time, come back slowly. And so they decided that, well, it's quite...
It's phenomenal he's even made this final without doing a dismount.
It's impressive that he did not do a dismount and still made the P-bar final. So that just shows how good he is and how good he will be once he gets back into the full swing of things. So, yeah, he's been out for a while, but it's looking very promising now.
Absolutely. He's pretty handy on the old P-bars, obviously, because he's made this final, but really we need him back on the leg events, don't we? Vault and floor is where he really shines.
Absolutely. Just an incredible gymnast on the floor and vaults.
There we go then. So Ewan Mepham, 12.3 his score, and that's going to be the benchmark for the following gymnast to beat. So, as we've already mentioned, the next gymnast is Gianni Regini Moran from Europa. So
Gianni's coached by Peter Etherington. Been coached for many, many years by him. Since a very young gymnast. But Gianni got a big future ahead of him. And he starts with the Honma swinged handstand. There's the undersumi with the half turn. Into his second undersumi. Just a slight bend of the arms, or we kick the floor there on the back giant. We'll take a deduction for that, judges. That was the tip out skill. Going from below the P-bars all the way to catch in the straddle support. That's the Diamondov, the turn on the one arm. Into the studs. And there's the front rise, and what would then normally be his dismount. But due to his injury, he just occasionally gets down.
And a nice wave to the crowd. I think he's enjoyed his experience being back out on the competition floor.
He has indeed. It's been a while. He was one of those gymnasts that seemed to, just like Max, put his hand up and always deliver clean routines. We know that he's exceptional on floor and vault, but you can see here, take another look why he's so good on P-bars and made this final. That was the tip out skill. Got to catch with the legs straight, toes pointed. There's the Diamondov to turn on the one arm. Seems happy enough with that. The bob out of the tongue to the camera. Our next gymnast is going to be Jake Jarman. So just after coming down, after winning the gold medal on vault, he's back competing in the parallel bars final.
And just if we've got time, Christian, I think we've... oh, no, so we've got the score in now. So the score for Gianni, 13.5, which, to reiterate again, without a dismount, is really quite remarkable. So we're ready now for our next competitor, who you've already alluded to. It's Jake Jarman from Huntingdon Gymnastics Club.
So Jake just with his final preparations now on the bars, the hands, the armpits, making sure everything's covered, gripped up, ready to go for this routine. Might be able to see in that screen then there was a green light in front of the judges. That shows that the judges are ready and the gymnast is about to start the routine. There you go, you can see it there. The light's red, it means the judges are not ready. So as a gymnast you have to wait for that light to go green. There's the undersumi, beautifully done. Into the backward giant. And that was the Bavsar skill. Very cleanly done so far. And now does a similar skill called the tip out. Straight up into handstand, no hesitation. There's the Diamondov into the front up rise. Just the dismount to go, double pike and nails the landing. What a day Jake Jarman is having, by the way. Look at the smile on that face. Only 16 years old, showing exactly why he's here on that podium competing with the best in Britain.
Absolutely, a real bright young talent there for Team GB, and I'm sure the national coaches here will be very impressed by his performances this weekend. Indeed,
he's doing all the right things he needs to make sure he's part of that team in the future. That was the tip out skill. No hesitation up to the handstand. And here's the dismount. Legs straight, toes pointed, double pike somersault, and nails that landing.
Absolutely nails it. Excellent work there from Jake. So, whilst we've got a little bit of a break in proceedings for the next gymnast getting ready, we're going to go back to our Twitter questions with the hashtag #AskAGymnast. And Beth, I think this one's for you. How many hours of training do the WAG gymnasts do in a week?
You can be training anything up to about 30, 36 hours a week. And obviously, it's not just about the hours that you're doing in the gym. It's the physio that you've got to do. It's what you're eating, when you go on holiday, when you're socialising. So it kind of dictates your whole life. But I think if you ask any WAG gymnast, they wouldn't change it.
And there we go, the score in for Jake Jarman, 13.825. A stellar score.
It is, and it's actually put him in top spot for the time being. Reece Betford will be up to compete next. Coached by Scott Hann. Okay, off we go, ready to perform his parallel bars routine. Gymnasts have to be, coaches, sorry, have to be quick to pull the springboards out from under the gymnast to make sure that they don't land on them. And that was the undersumi half into the undersumi. And now into the strata front. Lots of height there. First one we've seen of this final. And now into the moi. Oh no, sorry, that was into the tip out, but you could see he caught his legs on the way through and actually sat back down on the P-bars, which counts as a fall. That was the Healy turn on the one arm. And there's the Diamondov. Some of these skills quite regular in P-bar routines, the Diamondov, the Stutz. Sort of fundamental skills that gymnasts learn at a young age. And just the dismount, there's the double pike. Just a small hop on the landing. Good routine there by Reese, just unfortunate on that tip out. He sat back down on the parallel bars, which will be very costly. And this is the straddle front, the front somersault in the straddle position. And this is where he kicked the floor. You can see he sat on the P-bars there, and the judges will have took that as a fall. And there's the dismount. Double pike, just a little bend in the legs. But always difficult to get the perfect pike position after the end of a routine when you look a little bit tired, but did well to spot the landing and just a small hop.
Beth, have you ever fancied your chances at having a go at P-bars? I know you were pretty good at normal bars, A-bars.
Yeah, my bars were a lot further apart and totally different heights. So I think I'll have stuck to those ones. The amount of injuries I used to see the lads getting when they were training, fingers being put out of place, and yeah, it wasn't my thing.
Yeah, I thought some of the girls use them for conditioning, though, I have to say. See them quite frequently being used in the gym for a bit of conditioning.
Yeah, we did use some conditioning, and I think I could do a pretty much, I don't even know what it's called, Chris, where I go from pike and swing up to handstand.
Pike lift to handstand.
Pike lift to handstand, there we are.
Simple as that.
I was trying to make it too complicated.
The score for Reece Beckford in now 13. Of course, he's just a guest competitor here, so no impact on the rankings. But ready now for our next competitor. He's a friendly face in the GB team. It's Mr. Dan Purvis.
So Daniel Purvis scored 14.2 yesterday, one of his stronger apparatus. Starts with the front somersault from the upper arms. That is the Honma. That's the under summit to one row. We haven't seen that yet. Now he will perform a Healy out of it, and he will get connection bonus for those two skills being put together. And there's the normal under summit. And into the long swing double back. So that was the giant. Immediately into a double back somersault to catch an upper arms. Very impressive performance. It takes a little bit of the battering on the arms to perform. A beautiful skill there by Dan Purvis, the Healy from the one arm. The McCutts, very difficult. And an upgrade in his routine today. Actually, he didn't perform that yesterday, I don't believe. Just a dismount, double pike, and a step backwards. Great routine there by Dan. Definitely going to be pushing the guys there as far as score. Some of the gymnasts on the parallel bars opt to wear the arm pads to protect their arms, but not Dan. That was the Honma. And now into the long swing double back. That's the skills that take the bit of the battering on the arms and then the dismounts. So there you can see some of the gymnasts will have cuts and grazes all on their arms from catching those double back skills on their arms. Our next gymnast, Bryn, has actually got arm pads on to help protect. A bit of a personal preference. Some gymnasts like them, some don't.
If you do wear them, do they have to be a certain colour?
Good question. I'm not too sure. I know on the girls that they have to have the skin colour sort of wristbands, don't they? Or is it
not
tape?
anymore, I don't think so. I think there was quite a lot of difficulty finding the kind of bandage they wanted in the correct colours, so actually that rule was removed a little while ago.
Oh, well, I mean, Bryn has got skin-coloured, well, as close to skin-colour armbands as you can wear, so perhaps it might be a rule. I'm not actually quite too sure. Yeah. To be honest,
it's definitely
asking...
less distracting, isn't it? Look, it does look better if, you know, it's not sort of breaking the line of the arm when you want to see those nice tall handstands and things.
Yeah, exactly.
So the score was in for Daniel Purvis, 14.45, a huge score, which actually puts him into first place at the moment. But we've still got a couple of the big scorers yet to come. And I'm sure Bryn Bevan, next up from South Essex, will be looking to challenge that.
So Bryn had a solid day so far. A good parallel bars worker. Represented Great Britain at the Rio Olympics. And that's the Suarez element, but from the uprise position. And that was the under semi half, had to fight it a little bit, but he's done well to hold on to it. And there's the under semi. And into the back joint, you can see the cloud of smoke underneath from where all the chalk is, just as he passes through. Into the tip out, beautiful lines and execution of that skill. Performed on P-bars in Rio Olympics in the team final. Doing a solid performance. Just short of handstand there. He's had to take a free swing, which basically means it was an extra swing. There was no skill attached to it, so will be a deduction. And there's the dismount, the double front with the half turn. A bit short on the landing, which is a shame because actually up until those final couple of skills, the routine was going very, very well. So shame there. Pat on the back there by all the gymnasts, Coach Scott Ann. We'll have another look here at the routine. There you go, the flying back. And this was the dismount, the double front with the half turn. Just a little low on the landing. So the judges, obviously, if your chest is low or close to the floor, the judges will take deductions for that. So it's always something that you have to play into mind when performing the dismounts. You have to try and land with your chest up.
So Bryn's obviously had a spectacular weekend here, but he's not actually one of the gymnasts who's been selected to the Commonwealth Games. And we were talking a little bit about this yesterday, kind of the trials have been very early in the year, and maybe that just hasn't quite worked for him and where he is in his progress.
Yeah, so Bryn's had a few injuries over the past sort of year, and so he's really had to work hard to build back up to fitness. And obviously those trials were very early on this season, and he just wasn't quite ready for them. So he's really come into his own at this tournament. There's still plenty to work for the rest of the year. He's got Europeans and Worlds, so that hard work's not gone to waste.
Absolutely, and the score here, 13.775. And the next gymnast seems to be a bit of a fan favourite. I suppose he's not too far from home. From Southport Gymnastics, it's Mr. Frank Baines.
So Frank always been very good and stylish on the parallel bars. Finished second yesterday behind Niall with 14.6. 14.45 is the leading score at the minute by Daniel Purvis. Teammate, clubmate, both of these gymnasts, Frank and Dan, coached by Jeff Brooks of Southport YMCA Gymnastics Club. And there's the under summit to one rail, beautifully performed. Into the Healy. We'll get the connection bonus for that. Great start to the routine. There's the under summit. Does perform these skills very, very well on the parallel bars, Frank. There's the studs. And now into the hon mat. That was the front somersault from the upper arm position. And that was the Healy, the turn on the one arm. There's the front uprise. Into the dismount, the double front dismount. Great routine there by Frank.
Very nicely done. And you can just see the team camaraderie there a little bit, can't you? As they all rush onto the podium to change the setup of the bars for the next competitor. It's high fives all round.
Yeah, it is, and that's what's great about the men's sport. And this is the hon maze bet form now. Take another look at it. Straight up to handstand, no hesitation again. And then the dismount, the double front, tucks in tight, lots of rotation, makes it round to his feet, and just the small hop backwards. So I would definitely presume that will put him within the top three. Is it good enough to beat Dan Purvis? We'll just have to wait and see.
So the score comes in nice and quickly there, 14.4. Puts him into second place at the moment, just tucking in behind Daniel Purvis. And the arena is probably going to erupt now. There we go. Mr. Niall Wilson, the social media and YouTube sensation, is going to take to the apparatus. This is one of his favourite to perform on, isn't it, Chris?
It is. He's actually a world finalist on this apparatus. The two YMCA gymnasts have set the mark. Frank scoring 14.4, Daniel Purvis 14.45, so just 0.05 separating them. So that extra little bit of difficulty that Daniel Purvis added in today was definitely worth it. But the man that can now upset those standings is Niall Wilson, very much a natural on the parallel bars. There's his coach, Dave Murray, from Leeds Gymnastics Club. And he's ready. Starts with the Hanma. Got beautiful line in handstand. There's the front up rise door back, a very, very difficult skill. To get the height and rotation from your upper arms, extremely difficult. That's the undersumi half. And there's the undersumi. Pops up beautifully out of those skills. And then the undersumi into the back somersault. Recently added that into the routine this year. And the straddle front. That was a somersault in the straddle position. Lots of height. And then into the tip out, straight into handstand. This really is a beautiful routine so far. That was the Healy. Just the dismount to go. There's the front up rise, double front dismount, and a deep landing, but recovers well to absolutely nail it. And I'm pretty sure that will take the top spot. That really was a world-class routine there by Noel Wilson. A pleasure to watch.
There was a little bit of uncertainty though after he landed. He pulled a little bit of a face. Do you think just disappointed with that deep landing at the end?
Perhaps because it was pretty much a perfect routine up until that moment. That was the front up rise door back, very difficult skill. Then this is the undersumi into back somersault, the new addition to his routine, and that's the straddle front. So lots and lots of difficulty. Here's the dismount, catches it low, but holds onto the stuck landing. So probably had to work those leg muscles a little bit more than he wanted to, but either way, that really was a great routine.
Absolutely excellent work there from Niall. And the score is in. Has he done enough? Just leaving you in suspense here, viewers. A couple more moments to see if he's managed to attain that Masters title. And there we go, 14.975. Niall Wilson is the Parallel Bars Masters champion for 2018.
That was a great routine. Point or almost a point too higher than what he scored yesterday in the qualification. And that was probably down to that stuck landing. There we go, we can see the results. Noel Wilson, 14.975. The two Southport Gymnastics Club teammates, Daniel Purvis taking second, Frank Baines taking third, just 0.05 separating those two. And there he is, Jake Jarman, the under-18 gymnast, back up there amongst the best in Britain, with 13.825 to finish fourth. Just behind Jake, Bryn Bevan, Gianni Regini Moran, but remembering he did not do a dismount. Then we have Rhys Beckford and then Ewan Mephem to finish off that parallel bars final. So a very, very high standard parallel bars final. However, we still have got one more apparatus to go, the high bar final, the most exciting piece of apparatus.
Absolutely, it's a high-flying one. It's full